Hi everybody, welcome back and welcome to a new filming location. We have finally, after 8 long months, have moved house. So I am now in a new room which is solely set up for my filming. I have my dressing table here. I also have a bunch of stuff behind me here that needs organising. So I do need to continue to lay out this room a lot better for filming. I will also maybe put up a couple of little shelves behind me so I can put flowers, or with Christmas coming up soon I can put little Christmas decorations on them. So this will probably be there for a little while until I've got all of that set up. But yeah, we have now filmed. We also might be a little bit echoey in this room as well, so hopefully the volume and the sound and all of that is okay, and I can hopefully as well get back into a regular routine of filming and getting out a couple of videos each week. But for now, I have my October empties. I talk through all of the beauty products that I finished off in the previous month. Now, because we did move last month, I didn't bring with me all of my empty beauty products. It just didn't make sense in my head. I thought, no, I'll just recycle them, so I'm not bringing and packing along with me some products that just basically need recycling or thrown away. So I do only have a handful of products that I've finished off since we've moved. So for the products that I don't have to hand, I will just put up images for. So let's get started. I'm just going to run through them in the order in which they appear on my empties list, rather than group them by, say, skincare or hair care, makeup, etc. But looking at the list, I think I again have a good mix of makeup, skin, hair, body as well, I think. But starting off with a couple of hair care products. Firstly is the L'Oreal Elvive Moisture Plump Serum. This is in a purple bottle. It's a spray hair product. It's designed to add some moisture back into your hair. So if your hair is feeling a little bit dry, you can spray it into either dry or wet hair. I actually didn't test it on dry hair. I only used it on wet hair, and I used this as a leave-in conditioner product. I had finished off my regular leave-in conditioner, which is the Redken 25 at One United, which I have on my dressing table there. I can see it. And I thought, let's try the L'Oreal one, because I actually bought that way back this time last year during Black Friday. It's a nice enough product. I wouldn't say it adds a load of moisture and hydration to your hair. It also isn't as good at detangling as the Redken one, and I couldn't see on the packaging at all whether it is suitable for heat protection as well. I know the Redken one is, so if you are going to be blow drying your hair afterwards, if you are applying it to wet hair, you've got to make sure that you put a heat protectant product on afterwards. It was okay. It was good that I tried it. I always like trying new products, but it is definitely not something that is going to replace the Redken one. I don't think I would actually even repurchase it. Second product is also by L'Oreal. It's the Elvive Nourishing Conditioner, and I am using a lot of L'Oreal shampoos and conditioners at the moment. I seem to have kind of stuck to them. I was going through a phase, I suppose, of trying out more high-end brands like Redken and Pureology, but L'Oreal just seems to work on my hair, and the Nourishing Conditioner was a really lovely conditioner. I would repurchase that one. It was nice and hydrating. It didn't weigh down my hair, so it wasn't like super hydrating to the point where it was like heavy. It was still lightweight enough for my sort of fine limp hair. Added a nice amount of moisture, and I don't feel like I needed to wash my hair sooner than I usually do, so I wash my hair every other day. Really nice conditioner. I would repurchase that one. Next is a skincare product. I have been using hydrating / milky toners in my skincare routine before I put on my hydrating, barrier repairing and protecting serum. And I have used the Bioma one, which I really liked. That was a lovely hydrating milky toner. And I have since used up the Tear Milk Skin Toner Light. At the moment, on my dressing table, I'm currently using the original Tear Milk Toner, and I prefer that one to the light. The light one is lovely, and I was using that one in the summer. I bought both of them at the same time, and I thought, well, it's summer, let's try the light one, because the original one might be a little bit too heavy for summer. But the light one did a really good job of being hydrating, giving me a nice hydrating base before going in with that hydrating serum, but without feeling like it was heavy on my skin. The texture is really fluid. It's basically like pouring water into your hands. It's incredibly fluid. The original one is still fluid, but not quite as runny as the light one. It didn't make my face feel sticky or tacky or heavy afterwards. It was a really, really nice, light, hydrating toner. So I would buy that one again, but I think I would only use that one in the summer. I'm not sure if that one would be hydrating enough for the autumn and winter months, whereas the one that I'm currently using, which is the original one, that one is that little bit more of a step up in terms of hydration. So I would say if you are oily or combination skin, you don't feel like you need too much in terms of hydration, then I think the light one would be a good year-round option for you. But if you have slightly more mature skin, more dry skin, more dehydrated skin, then the original one would be a good option for you. Or if you're like me, my skin is, I suppose my skin is combination. It's getting slightly more dry as I get older. You might find, like me, that you prefer to use the original one in the autumn and winter, and then the light one during the summer. But I really liked that one, and I would repurchase it, but not for like another, 7 to 9 months. Going back to hair care, another L'Oreal Elvive. I've just put L'Oreal Elvive shampoo, which is not helpful on my list, but I think it is my go-to shampoo at the moment because I seem to just be sticking with this shampoo. It is the Hydra Pure shampoo, I do believe. It's in the purple bottle, and this is a shampoo that I think has salicylic acid in it and is targeted for people who have oily roots, people whose hair gets oily and greasy quite quickly, and mine does. I have to wash my hair every other day. If I go past that, it's not good. And this is a clear shampoo, so if you have hair like mine, if you have oily roots, you want to be looking for clear shampoos rather than sort of creamy, like opalescent shampoos. Those will be too hydrating and too heavy for your hair. Your clearer shampoos are more thoroughly cleansing on your kind of hair. And this shampoo I really like. I've gotten through probably about 3 bottles of this recently. This does seem to be my go-to shampoo because L'Oreal is a great price point. You can usually find it on discount somewhere, and this is an excellent shampoo at thoroughly cleansing my hair, but without stripping it, without over cleansing it, without drying it out or making it so slippily, that's not a word, so slippy and so clean to the extent where I feel like I've over cleansed and need to wash my hair again. It's a great balancing shampoo. Doesn't extend me past the 2 days that I go by before I need to wash my hair again, but I don't mind that. This is a lovely shampoo. It lathers up really nicely. I feel like my hair is thoroughly cleaned afterwards, but without feeling like zingy clean. Sometimes shampoos like this have sort of ingredients like along the lines of like tea tree or peppermint, really quite refreshing ingredients that do make your scalp feel quite tingly. This one doesn't. Really, really like this one. I currently have another one in my bathroom that I'm using, so yeah, would continue to repurchase this one. I really like it. We're going back to skincare, and I finished off the Harrow Wonder cleanser. This is the cleansing gel that I use as my second cleanse of an evening. I use the Harrow Wonder oil cleanser first, and then I use the cleansing gel, the pH 5.5 I think cleansing gel, afterwards. And I've gotten through a few tubes of this as well, and I really like this. This is, or those 2 cleansers rather, are my staple cleansers at the moment. I find that they work really well for my skin, although I do have a couple of breakouts at the moment, but I think that's just the stress of moving and eating probably not as healthily as I could be. But anyway, this cleanser is lovely. You don't need much of it. It lathers up really well. It is a clear gel type consistency product. The tube doesn't look huge, but because you don't need much of it, you do find that you're not getting through loads of it really, really quickly. And with my products that come in squeezy tubes like that, I usually cut them open and scrape out the rest. With this product, I don't need to do that. I did that with the first one and it was completely empty inside, so I now sort of trust that I don't need to do that moving forwards. Excellent cleanser. It's a nice balancing cleanser where it doesn't, like what I've said about the shampoos, it doesn't over cleanse and strip my skin, making it feel dry afterwards, but I also don't feel like it doesn't do a good job and I need to go in with a third cleanse. It's a really excellent cleanser to use after the oil to help sort of make sure my skin is thoroughly cleansed, balanced, but also hydrated. I don't feel like I then need to rush in with a moisturiser afterwards. An excellent cleanser, would thoroughly recommend, and I will continue to repurchase. Back to hair. The next product I used up in October was a hair oil, and it's by the brand Arib. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but it is in a black and gold / yellow bottle, and I would use a pump of this in my lengths and ends every night before bed, before I put it in a low plait and go to sleep. One pump is enough for my length, which I suppose is like boob level, and also texture of hair, which is fine. If you have longer, thicker hair than me, you might need a pump and a half, 2 pumps perhaps, but always start off with 1 pump, see how that goes. If you have shorter hair than me, a pump might be too much, unless your hair is really quite thick or coarse. But for me, 1 pump was enough, and it didn't make my hair feel quite heavy. The, how do you pronounce it? Gizal, that brand. I'm so awful at pronouncing brands. That brand of hair oil, that one did feel quite heavy, whereas this one didn't. So I would purchase this one ahead of the Gizal, however the hell you pronounce it. So I did quite like this hair oil product, really nice, and where I only used the pump every evening, I got through that bottle really quite slowly. Can't recall how long it took me to use it up, but it was months. I'm now using the L'Oreal Elvive Extraordinary Oil Miracle Hair Serum Oil. That beats the Arib one actually. That one is lovely, and that one has a better scent, but I did like the Arib one. It is quite costly though, so maybe try and find it on a discount. We do have Black Friday coming up. I liked it. I would repurchase, but actually the L'Oreal one, it's a lot cheaper, and I think I prefer it, so I would go for that one ahead of the Arib one, but it is still nice. Going back to skincare, just very briefly with this one, because this is one that appears quite regularly. I finished off another tube of my Dermatica, and the prescription, because I can't remember off the top of my head, is adapalene 0.1%, benzoyl peroxide 2.5%, and niacinamide 4%. It is a 12.5ml little tube. This one, I in a way prefer the packaging to Skin and Me. Skin and Me is in like a tin tube. It's very wobbly, it always falls over on my dressing table. This has a nice flat base, so this stands upright. It has a pump, so it's nice and hygienic. With the Skin and Me, you twist it up. What is good with the Skin and Me is you can track how much you have left, so it has numbers on the side for each day of the month. Whereas with this one, I have no idea. So I don't know whether I need to look at getting my next prescription sooner or whether I can delay it. Yeah, no idea how much is left in this one, but I prefer the ingredients that I have in this one. I feel like it's working a lot better for me than whatever it was I had in Skin and Me. I know it wasn't adapalene. It might have just been Shrek, but I feel like adapalene is better for me. So yeah, really enjoying using that one. I will stick with Dermatica, and you will see that as an empty pop up every sort of 3 months or so, because I use that about 3 times a week. I do one night of that, the next night I use my azelaic acid, the next night is just an active free night, and then I repeat that. So it works out to be about 3 times a week that I use it. Okay, the next product is something that I actually have to hand. This is the first makeup empty of this month. This is a lip gloss by Lisa Eldridge. It's in the shade Go Lightly, which is a beautiful pink coral shade. And this is a lip gloss that actually has a decent amount of pigment in it. There are some lip glosses that have just a tint of pigment, but this lip gloss has a decent amount of that colour. So the colour that you see in the tube is the colour that you're going to get on your lips, which is quite nice. So I didn't feel like I had to wear this over a lip liner or a lipstick to get enough pigment. I could just wear this one on its own, and I often did. I used this a lot. This was pretty much an everyday product that I used. I do think that I really prefer at the moment lip glosses over lipsticks. I have a Rare Beauty lip gloss that I've gotten recently, and I've been using that every day. I think I just like the convenience. You don't need a mirror, you can just whack it on. It's really hydrating, And this lip gloss in particular I would repurchase, and in this colour as well, because this is a great true spring option, because it's warm, it's bright, it's a light colour as well. It's just a great coral shade, and the consistency of this lip gloss is lovely. It's nothing too thick or heavy or gloopy or sticky. You can kind of move your lips like that, and it's a nice hydrating feeling. It's not really sticky or heavy at all. Just a lovely consistency lip gloss and shade. And I got the stopper out of this, and it's really smooth inside, so you're able to pick up every last bit of product. I did have to get a cotton bud and scrape out what was at the very bottom, but I did use up all of this, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would repurchase. Next product I don't have to hand, all the others I do. This one is by Archive, and this is the Good Karma product. It comes in a blue squeezy tube that has a pump on the end, so you can really control how much product you use. It's recommended to use about a grape sized product per kind of, I suppose, section of hair, or that's how I interpreted it. So I would split my hair in half and do a grape sized amount through most of my lengths and ends. I wouldn't concentrate it on the roots. I don't often put products on the roots because my roots do get greasy and oily quite quickly, but a grape sized amount throughout the majority of my hair. And this was really nice to add some moisture back into your hair. Now, my hair is in pretty good condition. I'm very lazy with my hair, so I don't do anything to it. I blow dry it when I've washed it, but that's it. I don't use any heat styling on it. I don't dye my hair, so my hair doesn't necessarily need more moisture. So it's not something that I would repurchase anytime soon, because I just don't feel like it's a product that I need. But if your hair is quite dry, if it's very dehydrated, if it's a bit damaged from over processing, a lot of heat treatment, then this is something that you might want to look into adding into your routine. I can't recall with this whether you can use this on how to use it. Apply to freshly washed and conditioned hair that's still damp. That's how I used it. Work a grape sized amount for short hair and 2 grape sizes for long hair. So that's what I did. So 1 grape, 2 grape. It does say you can apply it from root to tip and comb through for even distribution, so I didn't apply it to my roots, so I did use it correctly, which is good. So yeah, this is a product to apply on damp hair, and I did notice that my hair did feel a bit more hydrated afterwards, but where, like I'm saying, where my hair is in pretty good condition anyway, the difference wasn't hugely noticeable. So not something that I would repurchase anytime soon, but if I did in the future, I don't know, ever start dyeing my hair again, or notice that my hair was quite dry and possibly not using the right hair care products for it, then I would look to add this back into my routine. But I would recommend it, but not something that I would buy for a while. Next product, moving on to makeup again, I have another empty lip product. This is by Vive, and this is the Bounce Balm. I didn't cut this open. I didn't feel like it was really worth it for a lip balm. If this was like a hair care product, for example, or skincare, then I would. For a lip product, I thought, is there really going to be much in there that's worth using? I don't know. But this has a squeezy application, and then you just apply it like so. This is a clear lip balm that is meant to give a little bit of a plumping effect. Can't say I really noticed the plumping effect, but I did like how this product felt. It's a very hydrating and nourishing lip balm. I use this a lot. If I wasn't using the Lisa Eldridge lip gloss, then chances were I was using this. This was really nice to use of an evening after I'd taken off my makeup. I'd done my skincare, but I always have to have something on my lips. I hate having nothing on my lips because I just notice how dry they feel, which is probably a sign that I depend too much on lip products. But this really is lovely. I think it had the, yes, so the lip dew that Vive do has this kind of caramel scent, and this has the same scent, so it is a nice scent that you get with this. Really easy to use, hydrating, can also be worn as part of a makeup routine as well, but I didn't do that. I really like this, I would recommend, and I would repurchase this. Next are a couple of empty sample sachets, both from Amika. This is the Cure Bond Repair Shampoo and Bond Repair Conditioner. Now, like what I've just said about my hair not being damaged, I don't think I'm the best person to judge these kind of products, because bond repairing products are for people who have damaged their hair, it's very dry, it's over processed, maybe they bleach it, and they need that bit of strengthening and repairing back in to their hair. However, I did like how my hair felt afterwards. I thought the shampoo was very good at lathering up, very cleansing, didn't over cleanse my hair. It was a nice shampoo, and then the conditioner was nice and hydrating, but I don't feel like I have the kind of hair that's intended to receive the benefits that these products give. So that's really all I can say on these. I know this is a well-loved brand, so it might be that if you do have hair that is bleached, that's dyed, that's permed, that's over-processed, whatever, you might benefit from products like this. But for me, I mean, it's always nice to try new products, but I don't think I'm the best judge of character to give a great opinion on this. Okay, penultimate product, we're nearly there. This is one of my regular products that I use. This is a staple in my skincare routine. This is the Anua 7+ Rice Ceramide Hydrating Barrier Serum. So this is my, as the name suggests, my hydrating barrier serum. So I use my Tia Milk Skin Toner first and then put 2 pumps of this over my whole face and neck. The only critique that I have of this product is where it is so gloopy. You can't pump it like that because the product just runs down the bottle. You have to tip it, and that gets a bit awkward when you're running out of product. That is my only critique. Apart from that, I love this product. This is hydrating, it's nourishing, it's strengthening, it's repairing. It doesn't make my skin feel really sticky and tacky afterwards. My moisturiser applies really nicely afterwards as well. It's just an excellent barrier serum product. I love it. The first time I bought it, it was a real faff to buy. I had to buy it off the American version of Amazon and get it shipped over, which worked out fine, but now I can get it from UK stockists, so that's a lot easier. Love this. You will continue to see this in Empties products because I have another one on the go right now. Last product is another makeup product, and it is a mascara. If you're a regular, you hear me say this all the time, but if you're new, I'm very strict when it comes to mascaras. I do this with all of my makeup, but I write down the date that I open it, write down the shelf life, so the little number in the pot on the packaging, and then I write down the date that I should theoretically have used the product up with. And mascara is the only product that I am super strict with. I will actually get rid of it on that date. And the date for this one was the 1st of November, but I brought it back a date so I can include it in the October Empties. This is the Lancome Lash Idole Mascara in the shade, cannot see what it is on here, but it is a brown shade. This is lovely. I have seen this on lists of the best mascaras you can buy for years, but never tried it. And then I don't know why I then bought it, but I did, and I'm glad that I have, because this is arguably one of the best mascaras that I have tried. The brush is slightly curved, but what's lovely about this is the shade of brown. Quite often with brown mascaras, they are verging on being a brown-black mascara and not a true brown. This I feel is a true brown, and it's a nice warm brown as well. So if you're after a cool tone brown, this one might not be the best for you, but it's not like, you know, an eyeshadow or a lipstick, for example, where it's going to be hugely obvious that it is cool or warm. So you probably can still get away with this. But the shade of this is lovely, and as somebody who has a warm complexion, I no longer buy black mascaras, I only stick with brown. So I love the shade of this. But I also just love how this mascara performs. Some mascaras, when you first start using them, are really wet, and you have to give them like a few weeks, a month or two, to start to dry down, and then that's when you can see how the mascara truly performs. With this, you didn't need to do that. This one worked great straight off the bat. Nice lengthening mascara, nice to define every single lash, a nice little bit of curl in there as well. However, my lashes are dead straight and don't hold a curl particularly well, so I have to curl them. But this one doesn't smudge, it doesn't flake, it doesn't transfer. It's also really easy to remove as well. Now I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that this is a tubing mascara, and I like to stick with tubing mascaras because you don't get any of that smudging. I hate it with mascaras when they smudge, it's really annoying. However, tubing mascaras aren't as good as waterproof mascaras at keeping that curl. So if I really wanted a curl, I suppose I should look at waterproof ones. But I've really loved this mascara. I love the colour, love the way that it performed. Worked straight away, I didn't need to wait for it to sort of dry a bit. An excellent mascara, one of the best that I have tried. I would repurchase this. Now I know some people say with mascaras, because they only have a shelf life of around sort of 6 months, it's a product that you don't need to spend a lot of money on. However, in my experience, I have found that the more expensive mascaras are better. So this one, Yves Saint Laurent Lash Clash, is good, although that one is very wet to begin with. You have to give that one time to dry. And the one that I've just started wearing for the past couple of days is Lisa Eldridge Kitten Lash Mascara, again in brown. Got it on today. That's lovely as well. So unfortunately, the more expensive mascaras do seem to work a little bit better for me. But mascaras, like with all makeup, are very individual. But I would recommend this, and I would repurchase this. So those were the 14 items that I finished off in October. I'm expecting to have a similar number for November, because it seems at the moment a lot of my beauty products are running out. I need to buy a new oil cleanser, need to buy a new vitamin C, a day eye cream, a night eye cream. I need to also get a hand cream, a body wash. Yeah, it just seems like everything is running out all at the same time, which is great. So I will probably need to place a big order, but hopefully I can get a good Black Friday discount on it. So yes, those are all the products that I finished off. If you have tried them as well, please let me know your thoughts. If you have any recommendations, let me know as well. But yeah, it feels good to be back filming in my new room. And like I say, I will make this look a little bit of a nicer background rather than this sage green, which is a nice colour. But it would be nice to like make it kind of a little bit festive. A couple of shells on there, a flower, a candle, something like that. But thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.